my triple cup, that's told.
All
right, welcome to the 5x5 podcast. The date is October 3rd, 2020, and I'm here with the guys, Shane, Aaron, Jake, Edvin, and myself. So let's start off with the finals, guys. So last time we talked, it was a conference finals.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And we were wondering who's going to be joining the Lakers, and it was Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So we just finished game 2, which was yesterday. It was last night. And then, what are your guys' thoughts? Edmund, you want to start us off?
This is a beatdown.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for Miami whatsoever. They just can't stop LeBron. They can't stop AD. They just need to figure something out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Yo, game
but they
2.
just gotta figure something out.
Game 2, Rondo literally looked like Kyle Korver.
Honestly.
This guy was hitting.
I thought that was Kyle Korver.
I thought that was Kyle Korver.
No, so he's shooting over 40%.
Kyle Rondo?
Kyle Rondo.
Rajon Korver?
And
Rajon Korver.
Yeah, no, and I was listening to another podcast, and what Tony Allen was talking to, I think it was another guy on the Ringer, and he was telling him that their shooting coach said, you don't need to jump that high. So if you watch Rondo's shooting now, he doesn't get off the ground.
Yeah.
It's a complete opposite from Russell Westbrook, who jumps way too high.
That guy jumps like
He jumps way too high.
He jumps so high.
It looks so
Makes his
nice,
wrist
but it just
so
doesn't go
hard.
anywhere.
Yeah, but it's just like, when am I releasing it? Like at the top, or am I releasing it
On
at
the way
bottom?
down. It's like on the way down sometimes.
Damn, that'd be a terrible jump shot in 2K, bro.
Yeah, but
It's low key kind of fire in 2K. Low key.
I think
It's
anything
It's better than what he's doing.
I couldn't open 3 corners.
all right, so
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
all right, we'll start with game 1. So game 1 was a beatdown, but the main thing that happened in the first half was Goran Dragic got injured right off the rip.
Yeah.
And speaking of rips, he actually ended up tearing his plantar fasciitis.
That was a good
So that is like the tendon kind of between your from your toes all the way to your heel.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's like kind of like tore apart.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, it could even be kind of career ending.
For
how old he is?
I wouldn't say career ending because Joe Johnson had the same one in Atlanta.
That is
And
true.
what happened is that he ended up playing through it.
Yeah.
And they gave him injections.
Yeah.
Kind of like for the pain and everything.
Mhm.
And he shot 23% the rest of the series.
Wait, did they
Oof.
tell you, or like did they tell us how severe the tear was? Complete tear?
It was
partial?
it was torn. Like it was
Was
torn.
it complete tear?
Yeah.
Because they said he wasn't ruled out for the playoffs.
No, because
They said
like I said,
ruled out
like
for the
Joe
series.
Johnson you could still play through it. It's just gonna hurt, right?
He's a dog for playing through it, though. If he does,
Yeah.
you gotta give it to him.
Right. It's just like he's just so important to the offense, and it was definitely noticeable during game 1. Also, Bam Adebayo,
Shoulder.
Shoulder, right?
It was shoulder, neck as well. Yeah,
Really?
they marked it as a neck strain.
Yeah, it's one injury. It looks like it was a re-aggravation of the old one, but Spoelstra came out and said it's completely new. It's not the old one at all.
Okay.
So,
Oh, shit.
yeah, I wonder how he's feeling, because that's very questionable. Or maybe Spoelstra could have just been, trying to cover it up that it was the old one,
I feel it
lingering.
might have been bullshit.
But if it is a new one, then that's 2 injuries on the same side, same shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that could be a big
That's
problem.
what, left side?
I believe.
I don't know.
Okay.
I believe it would be his
Well,
left.
he
his
got,
left
he got
side,
hit with
yeah.
Dwight Howard, right?
Yeah,
when it was
that's
coming
a great-
down.
Oh,
shoulder.
shoulder.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all
That's
right.
a
Yeah, what-
great
The
football.
shoulders, the
You
shoulders.
mean Dwight Howard's other head?
Yeah.
Jesus.
The shoulders are bigger.
No,
than
it's
his head,
ridiculous,
bro.
and I don't know. I feel bad for Bam because even on the first game, because there's like too many bodies you got to deal with,
No.
right? And that's what we were talking about last podcast.
Mm.
You got to deal with LeBron, you got to deal with AD, Dwight Howard. It's ridiculous.
It's
It's
very
bad.
Yeah. They're really struggling in that zone.
Yeah, definitely. And
Can't run that zone.
speaking of zones, LeBron James and Rajon Rondo are destroying
They're
that
picking
zone.
it apart.
They
They're
get
like,
Easy money.
It is
easy
It
money.
seemed like
They
this.
got lucky that for some reason the Celtics couldn't figure out a zone.
until too late.
They couldn't figure it out for some reason.
Yeah.
They just couldn't Google it. Or
That doesn't
something.
make sense to me.
Right?
You're an
Right?
NBA franchise.
You got a
Yeah.
great coach.
with an
And
amazing
the coach,
coach.
cannot just Google how to beat.
And it's not like you haven't seen a zone before.
like they just
I
couldn't
don't
beat it.
understand.
And then LA's looking at it like, Yeah, this is AAU stuff, bro.
Well,
it's not that
Well, I
bad.
think
Like, I don't get it.
the one reason they couldn't beat the zone was just because they had no height. I think the
Yeah.
way to beat the zone, you have to get inside.
Yeah.
So if Kemba Walker's coming in and he's getting his shit blocked, right? And that's what's happened. With LA, it's LeBron James getting in there,
Yep.
and it's a completely different story. Who's gonna stop LeBron James?
I asked you guys that.
Could have been
every
Bam.
single time.
Kelly Olynyk can't
Right,
do
but
anything.
let's say-
will it be Bam?
Yeah.
Even if he was 100%.
Yeah,
Can
no,
Bam
but like the
stop
thing is
LeBron?
that they have no other option. Kelly Olynyk will give you
Yeah.
24 points,
No,
but
but-
he's not gonna play any defense at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
You can't stop
Jimmy
that, man.
Butler has too much to worry about too.
And the one thing as well that the Lakers are doing really well on is they're playing a lot of ISO with Davis, right? So Davis will catch it on the right or the left block or the left baseline, sorry, and then who's his matchup, because they play Bam in the middle, right? Who's his matchup? Jay Crowder,
Oh,
Kelly Olynyk,
Barbecue chicken.
barbecue chicken,
Barbecue
right?
chicken.
And that's what's happening. And I was
Jimmy Butler, I've seen a few times. He goes
is
with
it Jimmy Butler? Yeah, any forward that's on that side, because that's where you hide the weakest defender.
Yeah.
On those end of the wings, right? And he's just been destroying them from fadeaways to jump hooks to drive-bys to
Putbacks.
dunks. Yeah, to
The Lakers
putbacks.
are doing a
Anything.
great job of playing through Davis as the superstar, even though they have LeBron.
Yes.
It's like they know that LeBron might be, the best player. He's the guy.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, we have to make AD the guy. This is gonna be the guy leading us forward. If we use him as our superstar and he keeps climbing to new heights, right?
Yeah.
We have LeBron as a secondary?
Yo, you know what the crazy thing is
the
though?
luxury, bro.
This is,
The
what they were,
luxury.
this is what they were trying to do with Dwight Howard back in the day, man. This is what they imagined when they got Dwight Howard. This is what they
near
imagined.
as good as AD.
Yeah.
If only Dwight could ever do half of the things.
Honestly,
that
if you had one post move, man.
Yeah,
Just one.
there you go.
Just one.
other than
Anyone.
my shoulders
Other
are
than a
big,
hook
I
shot,
spin
bro.
well.
Other than a hook shot or the hook shot.
And at least they're not asking a hook shot from him anymore, right? They're saying,
No.
play defense, catch the ball.
And then
High.
you'll get
Push
those
the
greedy
ball.
plays.
Yeah,
that's
You'll get
honestly,
those
honestly.
greedy putbacks.
And he's really accepted the role. Like,
Exactly.
Like he bought into it, so that's really good.
Yeah, I've
That's
been
the
really
important
impressed
part.
with him this
Mm.
series, or like not even this series, the whole
The
playoffs.
whole year. To
the
be
whole
honest.
the whole year.
He just
He's-
been that spark they needed.
Yeah, I
You
feel
know
like he's really redeemed himself.
Revenge here.
I mean, like
100%.
Here for his
2
chip.
seasons ago, he was still averaging like 16 and 12.
Yeah,
Oh,
he had
he
that
was-
33.
he was
game.
always,
Yeah,
he was always
right?
dominant.
Like,
He's
It was
always
just-
been
I was
dominant.
more
Yeah.
like he was just
Yeah.
kind of on washed teams at that time.
he's
Because realistically, when you have shoulders
Yeah.
that big, who's guarding you?
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
The free throw line.
Honestly,
yeah,
That's the-
unfortunately.
that's the only thing stopping him.
Yeah. The other surprise too from the Lakers is their wings, like their guards and Danny
KCP.
Green, KCP,
KCP.
Alex Caruso. I'm not going to put Rajon
Caruso.
Rondo there. Even Markieff Morris, man, and they're
Kuzma made
they're
some
doing
plays.
they're doing very
Yeah,
very
Kuzma
good.
Magic. Yeah.
They're
So
doing very very
Amazing pass.
Good. I'm
Amazing.
Like,
pass.
What do you
From
think? LeBron just
Kuzma?
didn't
From
move.
Kuzma.
Oh, did you see
Amazing
the, you see the
pass. I
thing
love
like
it.
he was like magic like the oh my god. And then they was on Twitter, right? It's like that one clip of LeBron saying, if your brother's down, we're gonna help you up. We're gonna help you up. And then he played that clip right after. And LeBron, I think he just looked
He
at the
walked
baseline.
away.
Yeah, I was no.
It was-
I wouldn't.
It's crazy.
I don't think I'd pick up a
It's crazy.
teammate after that kind of pass.
I mean, I see what he was trying to do.
But why were you doing that? No
'Cause
I
one.
don't think you could
realistically-
rationalize why he was doing
It doesn't
though.
make sense. I
Why-
can't
why-
even defend him. It doesn't make sense.
You're playing with LeBron and AD. You just need to shoot the ball,
Or just throw it near them.
or just throw,
He
exactly.
threw it right in the middle of
Yeah.
both of them. It's
Yeah.
like who wants
It's
to?
like he sneezed. I don't know what he was doing.
But that's why, yeah, I'm not talking about Kuzma. I don't want to get started with Kuzma. He's
Yeah.
he's turned into the Rajon Rondo during the regular season, where
Oof.
everyone hates Rajon Rondo,
Yeah.
but now everyone just hates Kuzma.
Rondo's so good. He doesn't deserve all.
Well,
the
you know,
awards.
Lakers fan base is just it's tough love.
Toxic.
It's not toxic. It's
Oh,
tough
pretty
love.
oh, it's
toxic.
pretty
It's
toxic.
it's
Pretty
it's
toxic.
it's,
It's pretty
it's tough love.
You have one bad game and
It's tough love.
I don't think I love
Wait,
KCP.
Didn't say
We-
we could say we could
I-
shoot
I-
better than KCP.
I
Of
know,
course.
I like
Did
They
they
KCP,
say
but-
that?
but
They
look-
said that.
We said
Yeah.
this.
We all said that.
We all said
yeah,
that.
and then look at him now. He's doing really good, right?
After he got the
He's doing
shooting
better.
coach,
He's doing
right?
better. Yeah,
Yeah,
lethal
yeah.
shooter.
I do
It
remember
was a-
there was a point in the first game where it was a close game,
Mhm.
and then he missed the layup, and then the Lakers started playing well. which everything went back to normal.
Yep,
It seems. So
But unfortunately, yeah. So moving on to game 2, and then speaking of those guards, Danny Green 1 for 8.
I mean, realistically, do you expect anything more from him? Like, we've all seen this firsthand in the playoffs last year.
I just remember last year in the playoffs, every single time our first play is Danny Green baseline 3. He'd come off
And
from,
it worked.
and it was always open, and he never made it.
misses.
No,
I don't
that's the
understand.
play. It
And he
works. It's
misses
just
it.
He just never hits the
He can't
shot.
hit.
But the thing is with
God.
Danny Green is that you only really need one game from him if it's a close series.
No, I need him. No, the reason why we have Danny Green for him to be consistent. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
the
true.
Spurs have.
He's
That's
consistent.
what, yeah.
Be bad.
Yeah.
He's been bad this entire season.
Since the Spurs.
Basically.
So wait, there's no way you're telling me he's getting paid $14 million and you only want one good game from him.
A lie?
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
At that rate, that
Just
is kind
give
of
you
the
one good game
standards
for
that
14.
but at that rate, that is the standards that we have to stoop down.
I guess.
No, I want what San Antonio. had.
I want
People
You
who
know
belong
what?
in
You know what I
Sacramento
think
now.
it is?
That
I
was
think
different.
it's the hair. I think we need to get like him back on the
Buzz
buzz
cut?
cut.
Someone
Yeah.
buzz it?
We need to get him
Honestly.
on the G League pay, and
Yep.
then he'll start shooting those
So
threes.
catch
He
all
needs to
fire
start
again.
dancing with LeBron again.
Oh my God! From these Cleveland
He needs to
days,
start
where he was like,
dancing with
I was confused for a second.
Man,
What
he's
you
stuck-
talking
You don't
about?
know? You don't
He
know?
needs to start.
Have you not
We'll
heard?
clip it right up here.
Have you?
Right there.
Stop it.
We don't know how to do that yet.
Right here, right here, right here.
Moving on to game 2, though. So Miami went in no Dragic. Bam was out for the second game too, and they still try to put up a fight, right?
Yeah.
Closer
no
game than the
Bam
first one.
and no chance.
Yeah, it was closer to the game for the first one, and they're saying, it proved how much dog they still have in them, but it was
Yeah.
just so sad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, it showed like Jimmy Butler's like that dude, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
like most other star players in that situation, they'd be like, nah, you know what? I'm missing my 2 next sidekicks. It's whatever. This guy still went out and like he'd give you 25, 13, and 8.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, and yeah, Jimmy Butler's that dog, and yeah, he went from 15 shots a game usually to like 20, 25 shots because he needs to do that, right?
Mm.
So what they were looking at too is that their offensive rating was still really good. It was like 125, like plus 125.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Lakers' offensive rating was 147.
Jesus Christ.
They're just
Wow.
unstoppable.
It was
What
yeah,
do
it
you do
was
about that?
Stop them.
Yeah, no, it was
Miami
it was
has no answers.
I don't know what else to.
They're gonna try to outscore the Lakers, but
It's not
You
gonna
can't.
work.
can't.
You can't outscore that team.
you can't.
You can't
Not
outscore
when
them,
you have
can't
2
stop
guys
them.
who can
Facilitate.
95% of the time come down the floor and put up a shot that they deem is a shot they want and they're gonna hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then you have 2 floor generals.
Exactly.
And Rondo
You know what I
and LeBron.
Yeah.
That can change the dynamic,
And
like the
that's,
flow of the
that's
offense.
dissecting the zone, right?
Yeah.
And LeBron is like hunting those guys down, like Duncan Robinson, Tyler Harrow.
Mhm.
Like they're just like, oh shit, oh this is what it
Yeah.
is.
The
right?
thing is
Yeah.
that if you look at the stat sheet, it looks like Duncan Robinson just didn't shoot, but they just denied the ball
Yeah.
from the
yeah.
whole
'Cause they
game
know.
for him.
Because they're
They
smart.
know.
They're not
They
Boston.
did, like-
They're smart.
Yeah.
They denied the ball. They
And
didn't even
the
let him
Clippers.
touch
Yeah.
it. Shoot.
Yeah. What else to talk about that? LeBron destroying. There was a stat on Twitter, like people on Twitter's like, oh, now Andre Iguodala is about to go on LeBron James. How's LeBron gonna do versus Andre Iguodala?
But yeah, you guys can't forget.
The finals
Can't
MVP.
forget the finals MVP.
Right, gonna lock down the king
35
again in the
points.
finals. Oh, ridiculous!
Did he even play
Didn't
last week?
deserve
Ridiculous.
that finals MVP in the
He did not.
first one.
7
And I
points.
like
Different topic.
this is
Played,
I
but,
like
you wouldn't
Andre
notice.
You
Iguodala.
wouldn't
I
really
love
notice.
Iggy.
26 minutes, 7 points. That's crazy.
But you're gonna tell me
Can't
Steph
believe
didn't
this.
deserve that? Come on, brother. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So who do you think got to step up for the Heat to at least stay close?
They need to. How do I
They
put
need to
this?
drop
How do I
us.
put this gently?
They need Jesus Christ to come back and put on a Miami Heat uniform for them
Essentially.
to have a chance.
And block Kuzma's shot.
Yeah.
Essentially. I was gonna say, realistically, they need to play better,
Mhm.
right? At the end of the day, the best team is gonna win, and talent-wise, you're not the best team,
Yeah.
so you have to outplay them. You have to
They
outplay them
basically
in
have to play
everything,
perfect.
Yeah, like more
Just
than
to stand
perfect
a
sometimes.
chance.
Yep.
and that might be,
And that might not even be enough.
and that might suck to say. To
But
be
it's
realistically,
just the
your
reality.
chance is to be perfect. That's your only chance.
And even if you are perfect, you're still losing by 10.
Yeah.
You might,
Like, let's be
Yeah.
but
honest.
that's what everybody
Who
has to
won the
go
Barca
against the
They played
Warriors.
extremely
Everybody has
well
to deal
and
with that,
lost by
right?
10.
That's crazy.
They might have to deal with that next year. You know what I mean? But that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah. But I don't know. I
Jake
think
Paul,
Miami
right?
could still steal a game when Bam comes back. So you never know,
I
right?
still think it's sweet.
I think it's Lakers
It's a
in
br-
5.
I
think
I
it's
said it was.
five.
Gentlemen, I'll go
I
with
said it was in
gentlemen,
4.
Gentlemen,
I said it was in 4, but the way they won 1 and 2, I don't believe a hurt Bam is gonna help them win 3, right?
Mm.
And then after they've won 3, I just don't see them not closing it out.
Winning 1.
yeah.
But it's just, I just don't see them. Yeah, like once you're up 3-0,
Yeah.
if I'm correct and they go up 3-0, I
Yeah.
just feel like they're too close to the ultimate goal for them to be like, all right,
Oh, gentlemen.
this is
yeah.
what we came for.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You want to make a
finish
bet,
it."
Jake?
Hmm?
You want to make a bet?
Should we not do this right now?
You think it's 4. I think it's 5.
Okay.
Listen,
I'll bet you. What do you want to do? $10, $20?
Just bet the KFC sandwich.
Bet the KFC sandwich?
All right.
Take my hand on it on camera.
On
Everyone
camera.
sees this.
I like my sandwich.
Yes.
He already owes me money from yesterday.
Don't worry about that.
What happened?
Anyways,
moving on.
anyways,
Moving on,
anyways.
Finals MVP has been a big conversation on Twitter everywhere right now because who's gonna get it at the end of the day? Is
Bron,
it Anthony
no.
Davis or is it Braun?
It's
It's
80.
I gotta
I
say
don't
80.
know.
It's 80.
It's looking like it's gonna be.
I'd say
I gotta
80.
say
I think Braun would tell you it's 80.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you think that will go negatively against Braun's
No,
of course.
career
No, of course
impact?
Well,
You know what I
they'll
mean?
try to.
Yeah.
They try to spin everything against that man.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But at the end of the day, it's just him picking up this player who we knew was gonna be a superstar, right?
Mhm.
But never always got the chance to show it on the team he was on. So now he's got this fresh start. People are already looking at him as kind of a bad guy for moving to a super team per se. But he's just bringing his game to another level, to the place we all knew it could be, and people were wondering if it would go when he was on the Pelicans.
Now he's got that.
Yeah.
spotlight
And now
on
he's
him.
got that spotlight. He's killing it, and he's the main option on a team with the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's right. And no, I don't think they're gonna spin it negatively. I really hope not because the guy's already old.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? Well, what more can you do? And
Yeah.
I mean, it just if anything, it helps Anthony Davis's career
Yeah,
to go forward, right? And it just helps him build his legacy.
yeah.
And I think LeBron's going to end up playing this number 2 position on the Lakers once he starts declining. I don't
Yeah.
know when he's going to start declining.
Yes.
I don't think he ever will. I feel like LeBron,
always, man.
like
I say maybe
Decline.
3 years and then
You
he
think
starts
he's-
declining.
You think he's on decline right now?
No.
nah, sure,
No.
sure.
Absolutely
You could
not.
you could argue it,
But we don't know what his decline's gonna be, so we
What
can't
is
say
his
that.
decline?
right? Exactly. So I wouldn't say he's like declining right now. He's not on his decline, right? He's just not getting the ball as much, so he could kind of save himself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna save him a couple years because he doesn't. Bro, this road to the chip
Yeah.
was not very tough for him. Like,
No.
it was a relaxed
Yeah.
cruise.
Yeah, and that was because like last time what we said it was the matchups,
It's
right?
just-
It was just like, oh, Anthony Davis. So
Exactly.
I mean, like,
Who's stopping him?
No
can
one.
guard him, especially when LeBron's setting him up.
It's not really.
yeah,
easy.
it's tough. It's definitely tough.
Have a game plan for both of these dudes.
So that
Can't
means,
stop.
great. So game 3 would be on Sunday, I believe, since they're playing every other day, which also sucks for the Heat too because those injuries are just gonna keep piling up.
Mhm.
And you know what, Jimmy Butler did really well for yesterday's game, even after suffering, but it was an ankle sprain on the first game, and I don't know, man. Depending on the severity, like that's still gonna swell up, and you still gotta go play out there. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Moving on to smaller news, Doc Rivers got fired earlier this week from the Clippers. Fired, let go, parted ways. But he got he got let go from
They
the Clippers.
said get out.
Yeah, he said get
Just
out.
told him to Get out.
And
They
a lot of people were looking, oh, where is he gonna go? What's the next fit, etc., etc. And recently he just got picked up, and by the 76ers. Aaron, what's your thoughts on it, man?
Generally, I gotta ask, what kind of offense does Doc Rivers run?
So I don't know. I don't know as a person that watches Doc Rivers a lot, because he's gifted with a lot of great teams at the end of the day.
Would you say it's more like the teams that he runs, or like the type of personnel that he wants to create on a team is like balanced? Like he wants to create that.
Yeah, I would say so, because the one thing here is that he's not a tactician.
Mm-hmm. That's what like.
What I mean by that is like he's not Brad
coach.
Stevens. Yeah, he's not Nick Nurse. He's not Eric Spoelstra. He seems like a very old school kind of like pop level type of coach, where they kind of just run the same thing, and then if there's adjustments, we'll make them. But yeah, no. So how do you feel about the fit?
I'm not entirely sure yet. I feel like I need to see how he tries or plans on integrating like Ben Simmons. If you look at like what he did with the Celtics in 2008, he was really like he did really well with implementing Rajon Rondo into the offense. So I'm wondering like now, because like at that time Rajon Rondo wasn't a very good shooter. So then like how is he gonna do that with Ben Simmons? If he can do something similar like
I
that.
wonder if he's still gonna regard Ben Simmons as a point guard.
Yeah,
they
that's
might have
true.
already given up on him.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have.
So I think it's tough to say until we kind of see the first couple of games from the Sixers.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference.
You think, eh?
You think just adding Doc is gonna fix that team?
Absolutely
No,
not.
of
That
course
team's
not, of
got
course not.
fundamental problems that
course
need to
not.
be addressed.
Well, that's what I think that Doc will or could assist in, because he did have to deal with a lot of like different personalities in
I don't think it's
in
the
the Celtics.
personalities though.
I think it's the
I think
face
Ben
styles.
and Ben and Joe love each other.
Yeah, but I think it's just like off the court, on the court, it doesn't seem like they love each other. Like in a sense, like they're not compatible, you know?
Yeah.
Why can't you shoot?
Yeah, right.
Please.
Like, help me get in the post,
Please.
but I'm there too, right?
I was like, but I want to be in the post.
Yeah,
it's
so,
my turn.
So that's what I
And
think
then
it is.
Tobias Harris is already in the corner posting up like, hey guys, what about me?
Yeah,
We got shit.
yeah.
Like,
Al Horford
Milton.
on the other side. Hey, yo.
Well, that's the thing too. So
They run the 5 in.
Yes.
Yes, they run the 5 in. But that's the thing too. So when Tobias was in the Clippers, he had his best years there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's what helped him, get that contract in the 76ers.
best.
And who was coaching that Clippers team? Doc.
Yeah.
So, it kind of gets that small reunion, and
Chris
hopefully,
Paul.
hopefully, he gets a resurgence. He plays up to that contract because, Jake, number one member of the Tobias Harris fan club.
I'm not the number one fan, boy. I just don't think he's as bad as you guys think he is. You guys think he's awful.
He's actually like pretty good.
He's a good player, man.
It's
They're
the fit,
borderline
though. It's
all-star.
definitely the fit.
All I said was Brandon Ingram's better.
We were having a
Well,
conversation.
It's another red area again with you, eh? Stop. It's the same JV Marcus Saul. We're not getting into
today.
this. No, we're not getting into this.
Not today. Not today. Not today.
Please.
Not today.
Please.
Maybe second half. We'll see.
Please. Oh, God. But I don't know. There could definitely be changes, but I don't think the 76ers will be the same. Like, they won't. They'll be a different team after this offseason.
What do you think in terms of like, you know how the Clippers let Doc go?
Yeah.
Who do you think would be a good fit for the Clippers right now?
Good fit for the Clippers.
Yeah. So I'll name some available coaches.
Yeah.
So there's some talks about Sam Cassell, Jeff Van
I
Gundy,
love Jeff Van Gundy.
Mike D'Antoni, and Tyronn Lue. Those are the top 4 right now. for
I
the
hate
Clippers.
it. I hate it all.
All of them?
You know, okay, here's my problem, and it's a problem that my dad brought to my attention, and it's the fact that the NBA, they just recycle coaches.
Yeah.
They just recycle coaches like something new is gonna happen. Like that coach that couldn't lead those group of guys is gonna come over and lead this
Yeah.
group of guys to do
Yeah.
anything better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's we found there are assistant coaches who are waiting.
Shout
Who
out
have
Nick
been
Nurse.
trying their whole careers to just get the opportunity to maybe implement something new that these coaches who have been bouncing around teams for the last 10 years haven't seen or haven't done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, definitely.
It's just so weird.
And that's why I think out of the list, though, I think Sam Cassell is probably that's the one that I like, because he's the assistant right now. No,
Yeah.
it's him and Ty Lue.
Yeah.
And I think right now that he'd be in my opinion, the best candidate. And then you could throw out all the other recycled coach names
Yo,
out
he's
there,
been
right?
there for a while.
Yeah, it's just
too. He's
weird.
been there for
Yo,
a
what
long
about Jerry
time.
Stackhouse?
Oh no,
Back
he has
has
his
time.
bag secure somewhere else, man. He's
Yeah,
he's
what
coaching
do
a
you-
college team.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't know
he
that.
got his bag suspended.
I
He
know
got
how
his
it
bag
is.
He
suspended.
was coaching
Because
the,
I was like,
our D League.
our G League. Yeah.
because I remember at one point he was one of the people that was on the list for the next like coaching job on
for
the Raptors.
Raptors.
He's at Vanderbilt right now.
See,
Oh,
he's got a bag.
So
So
nurse is
One of our
just too
assistant
good.
coaches.
Because his offense was actually very
It
good.
was.
If you watch a couple G League
Yeah,
There
games,
was.
it
Our
like
coach is-
it looked
is
there was
nice.
so much motion,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's kind of what PG and Kawhi need
Mm-hmm.
is more off ball opportunities so that they're just
Well-
not playing iso ball for the whole.
I don't think PG.
PG
Oh,
needs something else,
ah.
man. He needs something else, man.
I have no clue what else
He
they
needs,
can do.
I don't know what he needs. Is it mental?
I think it's
Honestly, I
It's,
think
it's mental. It has to be.
I think it's
It's
because
psychiatrist.
okay. I think from here it's just like he's been the number 2 option for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
When's the last time he's actually gotten a team?
He was the number 1 option that 1 year in OKC.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
when
He had,
was
like,
in the running
29.
last
That's when
year.
they
And
Yeah.
look what
Sure.
happened.
Sure, I know, but was he really though?
Yeah.
Right?
Offensively, yes.
Yeah, no, but was he really?
But he
though?
wasn't the leader.
That's
He
what,
was
that's what I'm
not.
asking you. That's what I'm
What
asking
do
you.
you expect?
That's a
that
bad
from
shot.
him?
No, that's what. Yeah, that's what I'm asking you. Like, when was the last time that he's been the alpha?
Indiana.
Indiana, exactly.
That's
Where-
barely.
where-
That's barely.
That's
And-
really- I feel like
and
it was
we know
other
what he
alphas on
did
that
to
team.
Roy Hibbert.
Exactly.
And we know what he did. That's your leader?
Yeah.
Maybe it's best that he's not.
I'll think it's best.
So yeah,
for
so that's what I'm saying.
He's
So
not-
maybe it's mental. Maybe he's just not that. He's not built different,
He's absolutely,
Whoa.
absolutely not.
or he's built too different.
It's the Gatorade curse.
I think Kawhi and PG have to have that same
Ball
conversation.
game.
Oh, what did you
way
say? Yeah,
more
ball
like
game.
Ball
on,
game.
on the beach.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, speaking of Indiana, their superstar over there, quote unquote superstar over there, Victor Oladipo, not having a great time in Indiana. Yeah, well, but the thing is, right now, I think he's just like, they're so excited that Sabonis is like breaking out. Malcolm Brogdon too had a really good year because he had to carry the offense a little bit too. Even their bench, Dougie McBuckets,
Hey,
both
Bucket.
holidays. Their rookie center as well.
TJ Warren.
No, TJ Warren as well, but not
Oh,
the rookie.
Goga.
Goga,
He's nice.
right?
TJ
So-
Leaf is actually developing.
right,
now.
and they're
That's
so
true.
excited because all of these guys
Time
match
to
each
get
other's timelines, right?
Oladipo does
Time
not.
to get rid of Miles Turner.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And
It's time.
him and Miles Turner
to the
are the
Raptors.
only people that don't match their
I'll
timelines,
take both.
right?
Where
I'll take
did we
both.
say that
Yeah.
Miles Turner could end up on?
take
The,
yeah.
the
Get rid of
Celtics?
Marcus Law, get Miles Turner.
So,
For sure.
the one leading team right now, like for Miles Turner, everyone is saying the Celtics.
Ooh.
No, it's not fair. They're gonna get better.
Right, but the thing is, like, who they're gonna give up is probably what Gordon Hayward. But why
they
would?
wouldn't do that?
But
I
why
hope they
would
don't.
Indiana
They
take that
wouldn't,
money
but-
Yeah.
and take
You
that
gotta
trade?
remember, Celtics have a lot of picks still.
Yeah, you're right. But
They
the
got
thing
a
is, it
lot.
depends what Indiana wants. If they want to rebuild, they could. I don't see why not.
If I'm in Indiana, though, I'm not trading Miles Turner to the Celtics of all people unless I'm getting either Brown or Tatum back. Because I'm not making someone in my conference better.
that much
But
stronger.
I don't
You know what I
think,
mean?
Especially if
Yeah.
I'm gonna contend.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that the Celtics even try. Like those two are untouchable
Yeah.
on that team. I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
that's
ever
the
gonna
thing.
happen.
So that's basically
proven
saying that we can't.
through this playoff.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's just Shane saying there's just no way
No
that
chance.
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
goes. Because you could do it for Hayward. I don't think Boston would even give up Hayward, but if they would, I don't think Indiana would say Hayward's enough.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
An
He's not
old-ish
old. He's not old.
injured player.
Injury
I think
player.
Yeah.
Injury prone,
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too
call him
because he was
injury-prone,
he was
but-
supposed to be like
I mean,
the
you have to at this point.
second coming of
He's
Chris
had
Bosh.
two injuries.
Yeah.
He
at
hasn't
one
been
point,
healthy.
right?
Yeah,
he
I
can't
mean, he
stay
still
though.
could
His
be.
two injuries.
You know,
have
it's still
been
very
the last
early.
2 years.
Yeah,
Right?
big.
I mean,
Yeah,
it really
so that's
is.
two
I mean,
injuries.
from what I remember,
And
he's like,
out of-
26.
how long has he been playing?
Yeah, he is 26, I think.
26.
Exactly. That's
Maybe
not
even
even
younger.
prone. He's just
He's just riddled with injuries now.
right now.
I
Yeah.
think he's like 26.
Besides, we need to see him get healthy.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
tragic.
Yeah.
So where else do you think that Miles
24.
Turner would end up coming?
Like I said, I'd love to see him come here.
I would love to see
Ooh.
him.
Miles Turner?
Yeah.
That would
Yes.
Replace Gasol.
Big upgrade.
Yes.
Huge.
How,
Barely. Very
would
small
we,
upgrade.
How would
Barely.
we even make that work though?
Barely.
Don't let him start.
Oh,
What are we offering to the Pacers that make them okay? Yeah, we'll think about that.
I think they're going
A
to be
high
looking
five.
for OG.
Like, nah, I'm
Nah,
not giving
Like,
up on that.
I mean, I wouldn't give him up, but I think that's what they're
Swap,
going to be
swap.
asking for.
You know what? I'll give you Boucher. You can have
I think they're going to end up giving up Powell. And some
That's
fine.
like,
I'm
no,
okay
yeah,
with it.
yeah.
I'm okay
Well,
with it.
money
I'm okay with it.
matches.
We're gonna
because
leave.
it'd be
We're gonna
Powell.
lose him eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
And
pretty
if
cool.
we lose him earlier, then maybe we have some extra money to pay TD. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, and definitely. So going to the other player from Indiana, Depot. Do you think Depot would fit in the Raptors system, Shane?
Honestly, it depends on who we are going to give up for him.
Yeah. Well, let's say, everyone else kind of leaves. Like just like plain. Like what do you think how we'd fit?
So, and this is just adding him to our roster.
Adding
right
him
now.
to our roster right now.
I like the fit because
Yeah.
he's still a great defender. You know, and he's still a really good playmaker.
Yeah.
His jumper hasn't really been there since he's come back from injury, which kind of goes against like the way we play.
Mhm.
But I think all in all, he'll be a really good fit because he's not a selfish player at all. You know what I mean? And that's the culture that we're building.
Yeah, that guy wants to win.
Right?
I totally feel that. Yeah, and I don't know. It'd be a weird sight. I know I did the poll on Instagram.
Yeah.
A lot of people did want Depot in Toronto.
I was actually one of them who said no.
You said-
I said no.
I
Because
think
realistically,
I said yes.
This is the same guy
I'm
that
pretty
thinks
sure I said
Marc
yeah.
Gasol.
I'm joking. It's a joke.
I don't believe
She's
it.
like, can we not do this
Stop.
right now?
That's not right now. Not right now.
Yeah.
But
Not right now.
it's-
We
No,
still have time.
no. So, but Depot's going somewhere. Do you
Yeah.
think he ends up somehow in Brooklyn,
No.
I think Miami.
Miami?
I think
I don't
Miami.
think he has the personality for Brooklyn. I don't think he would get along with those guys.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
I don't think he'd get along with those guys at all.
Yeah, because right now what they're looking for is that combo guard so Kyrie doesn't have to play too much defense, right? That's what they're thinking, like Drew Holiday.
Depot,
would
get the
join.
ball.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
yeah, right. You know,
They're gonna yell at him like they're
Yeah.
yelling at
You
him.
had 2.5
Chalmers.
that one
Yeah.
season.
People and Turner getting packaged to San Antonio.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's interesting.
Tipo and Turner get packaged to San Antonio somehow.
For who?
go on.
I could just see that as a good fit for both of them.
Pirtle?
Besides DeJounte.
Pirtle comes
Besides
back.
DeJounte
But for
Murray,
who,
though.
though?
that
But for
backward.
who,
Pirtle.
though?
Pirtle
That's
would
the
be one of them.
question.
It'd
That's the
be
question.
what
What can
Pirtle,
they get?
LaMarcus.
They're giving up Keldon
It
Lamar.
would be
Johnson.
LaMarcus.
Well, the thing
They
is,
have
it's
to
the
trade Keldon Johnson.
It's the money at the end of the day. It's I don't know if it's gonna work.
That's
'cause
It's
those are
money
two
and
decent stuff.
assets. I
Yeah.
don't think San Antonio has that many assets.
No, and they
You know what I mean?
DeMar.
They got
Yeah.
Derek
No, but
White.
DeMar's contract
They got
expires
Derek
this
Yeah,
year.
White.
he's a
They
free
could
agent.
probably give
and he's getting that player option because he's getting paid $27 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
Sign
signing
and
a
trade.
not take that.
Sign and trade.
Sign trade?
Sign and trade. Get him out.
Yeah.
Bring DeMar to.
I
I'd
think-
like to see DeMar.
Be careful. Be careful.
I don't
with
want
what
him
you
back
say.
on the Raptors.
Yeah, thank God. I love
No.
DeMar. Don't get me wrong. DeMar, if you're watching, I love you, bro. But like,
Yeah, but
I don't know,
Lowry's
man.
statue goes up first.
I don't know, man.
DeMar's not watching.
Lowry get a statue of him taking a charge? Is that what we're gonna do?
Oh yeah, no, that was that article,
That's
right?
disrespectful.
We can't do
Wait,
like
wait,
that.
we're gonna get a statue.
Lowry's
Lowry
taking a
getting
charge?
body.
We gotta get him the
We
picture
can't-
of
we
him
gotta-
smiling and hugging.
Yeah,
when he's
hugging
the
basketball.
Yes,
That
that's the
was-
one.
that's
That's the one.
But I love how we're gonna have I love how we're gonna have a Kyle Lowry statue, but have basically the other Raptors in the statue too. So it's not a Kyle Lowry statue anymore.
It's a team statue.
It's just a Raptors
Now,
statue.
but
But
imagine if
that
Lowry was
defeats-
taking a charge from a
But,
Raptor.
that defeats the purpose of the Kyle Lowry.
Okay.
No, that's
No, it
stupid.
wouldn't.
Why would
That
they
would
do
be
that?
insane.
What, like I said, why
That would
have
be
a
it.
statue? Like what Jake said, why have a statue and put him on the ground? What's the what's the
A statue of him on the
Someone's
ground.
gonna deface that statue.
could you imagine? They had the Michael Jordan one, except he's like on the ground already.
Wait,
Like,
so what are we giving Lowry then?
Huh? Well, like I was thinking, there's the
Oh,
one with
man.
when he has a championship in his hands. Yeah, the one at the parade. There's a lot of good ones, but I don't want to see him on the ground. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. The tourist pictures are
Just
gonna look
mid-fall,
terrible.
though.
They're
Mid-fall,
gonna look.
like, he's not there
I'm
yet.
gonna be so upset. Yeah. No. Other than that, I don't know why. Yeah. I want to see a Kyle Lowry statue though. I think
Oh,
he needs
100%. He definitely deserves it.
Yo, I've been saying it for so long.
He is
And
the
we
heart
could
of
get
the
one
That
city.
guy needs a statue.
We could get one of
In the middle of Jurassic
Primo
Park.
Pasta.
I,
It's a statue of pasta.
I gotta go.
We can put that one on the
I gotta
floor.
go.
We can
Next
put
week,
that one on
next.
the
I
floor,
gotta go.
so it gets the face.
Maybe we're just hungry.
Stop
Maybe
it.
we're just hungry.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah,
Stop
and you know what? We are gonna take a food break, so we'll be back. Shane, what are we going to be talking about for today?
So today we're just gonna run through 5 scenarios of just like what ifs in the NBA, right? So our first one we're gonna jump into is what if Derrick Rose never got injured? So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this lob over to Edvin if you want to get us started, man.
I think that I think that Zeros, if he didn't get injured, man, the league would be shaped differently for sure, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about MVP caliber point guard. explosive, creates for his teammates. He just does. He literally does everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that injury basically just derailed him, basically for like
Forever.
forever.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
It's just not the same anymore. Like that guy was jumping over you, jumping over the big man.
Yeah.
He was running by you. He was guarding the opposing the point guard like very well.
Yeah.
He just did everything.
And that was at what, 6'3"?
Exactly 6'3".
That was nuts. And that's like kind of like I don't want to say it, but it's kind of like very like you could see it like in Donovan Mitchell a bit, where they're like undersized guards, just being
Undersized guards,
explosive as shit.
Mm-hmm.
John Morant too.
John Morant,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. But it was definitely Derrick Rose was on that upper echelons of like what the hell is this guy doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it was insane.
He was Westbrook with the jumper.
Yeah,
It's
and
better than
do you guys think he would, or Jake, do you think he would evolve to today's game? Because I mean, we've seen people like Russell Westbrook, you know, still kind of play to his strengths where, you know, I'm going to drive and I'm going to chuck threes. Do you think Derrick Rose, because we know that he wasn't an amazing 3-point shooter, but do you think he would
He wasn't
evolve
a
to
bad
No, he wasn't a bad one,
He
by
could,
all, by all
You can't leave
means.
him open.
You can't leave him open.
Yeah.
man.
He definitely developed one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Late,
And
right?
Shoney's developed it.
And I think that development would have continued to progress as the years came along. You know what I mean? As people had to start developing more defenses to stop him from beating somebody off the dribble.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna make him shoot, right? And if he can just get that jump shot, then we're looking at an all-time great, right?
Yeah.
And then it's very unfortunate.
I'm just
Indeed,
imagine,
well,
yeah.
but-
Because I'm imagine he's coming off the pick and then he's just like spraying
Yeah,
that
what do you
thing,
do?
man. Oh, my
it's-
goodness.
it's
What are you gonna do with the
dangerous,
clip? Oh,
dangerous.
The
my
amount
God.
of options he had was unlimited.
Yes.
The
If
amount of
you
options he had was
ran
unlimited.
Derrick Rose off of a multitude of screens in the same way they do to Stephen Curry, that speed and athleticism that Derrick Rose would have to run off those, no one's staying with him.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single person in the NBA could stay with that because they can't stay with Curry, and he's not overly fast. He's just running off a bunch of screens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Run Derrick Rose off of 2-3 screens and tell me he's not open. You know what I mean? But that's prime Derrick Rose before everything. Life took it away from us.
Yeah, so are they winning a ring? Shane.
Like just like the year
Well-
after. The
Well,
same year.
we're talking about Derrick Rose is not going to get injured. No, I'm
Yeah.
not saying for the rest of his career, but like
Yeah.
prime Derrick Rose is not getting injured. Are they winning a ring?
At least two.
At least.
At least two
Even
rings.
even with Braun.
Even with Bron.
Yeah, and the big three.
Because he was the one player at the time that like Braun was kind of like worried about. You know what I mean? And not like worried about like, oh, I'm actually scared, but like he was actually like concerned about Derrick Rose. You know what I mean? Like they actually had to come up with a game plan for him. At the time, there wasn't too many other like just singular players that Miami team was worried about.
Remember that? It wasn't Miami. It was Cleveland. Cleveland Chicago series, right?
Yeah.
Where Derrick Rose hit that game winner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come
I
on,
know.
man.
And that wasn't even prime D Rose.
And that wasn't
Yeah.
even prime D Rose, man.
Yeah. But
So
yeah,
prime D Rose makes that a series.
Oh, 100%.
yeah, I don't know about two though. I think they could sneak out one, man, but
Yeah.
I could see one.
I could sneak
I
out.
see one.
I
I don't know about two,
don't know
but I see
too, because looking back at it, I mean that Chicago Bulls team was great, but I don't know if they were like championship contender
Yeah.
because
They weren't.
they never had the
it was
chance
just
to.
because-
But yeah, go ahead, Jake.
Well, let's match it up. What year would that have been?
That would have been 10, 11.
10, 11. Is
That
that
would
the
be the
year
first
they
year.
would have won the championship? Usually.
Yes. That would have been Miami's first year.
Okay.
And so my reasoning behind it would have been, as you saw in the finals, Miami wasn't really a well put together team at the time.
Mhm.
They didn't really know how to play with each other. They didn't want to step on each other's toes.
Mhm.
But Chicago, on the other hand, was already
They knew who
well
the guy was.
formed. Sorry, say again?
They knew who the guy was.
Yeah. They had their chemistry, they had their plays, everyone respected the coach. You know what I mean? And just based off that.
Yeah, that's right.
Until that changed.
Well, yeah. So
Yeah.
looking at the 2011 playoffs, this was I'm looking at a prediction that Scottie Pippen actually made, and it was posted on NBA.com. So he actually had the Bulls winning the chip that year,
Yeah.
2011. So the Bulls were the first seed. They beat Indiana. Sorry, they'd beat Orlando in the second round. That's what he guessed, and then it would be a Bulls versus Heat conference finals, and he'd think that the Bulls would take it away, and they'd meet up the Thunder that year as well. So I mean, yeah, no, it could have happened. It could have happened that year, but it's they never had that chance to be a contender because of his injury, right?
Yeah.
It's not like I could compare it to Giannis right now,
Mhm.
right? We can't. He was this year was like, oh, he's gonna win the chip, or he's probably the most favored one to win the
Yeah.
chip. But now I'm not blaming his injury. It's just like, oh, they were kind of like pretenders
Yeah.
since they got like beat out by Jimmy Butler and
Yeah.
the boys.
I mean, if you think about the teams they would have faced in the championships, not the teams they would have faced in the let's take out the fact that they have to go through LeBron to get there, right?
Mhm.
If we're looking at they do get there, now who are we facing? We're facing that OKC team.
The OKC team.
Wasn't
That's
the
a problem.
OKC team the year after though?
That was the
That was 2012.
No, but
Sorry.
no, it was this OKC team though.
Yeah, no, but if we're
It was the
talking
finals?
hypothetical,
No,
they.
I don't think
Not
not
this-
that
oh,
year.
oh.
That was Dallas that went to the finals.
Not this
Okay,
year,
okay,
but
okay.
it was still that OKC team.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Are they?
It was down.
Yeah.
You think Dallas loses to Chicago in that?
Yes.
They ain't stopping D Rose.
It's gonna be
one's
hard for
stopping
them to
D
stop
Rose on
D-Rose,
that
yeah.
It
team.
stops LeBron.
The thing is, LeBron
But-
stopped
They didn't
LeBron.
stop LeBron. LeBron stopped LeBron. Yeah.
Jason Terry stops LeBron.
I can't
But
believe
Jason
this.
Terry can't stop D Rose.
You- but I don't know.
Terry stops LeBron.
I think the veteran leadership could definitely outwit the Chicago Bulls that season though.
See,
I don't know.
Also,
What I think is-
Jason Kidd would have actually been a very big difference maker against Derrick Rose during that series if it would have happened.
Wait, what are you saying? So you're
Jason
saying
Kidd.
Or you think he's gonna
Like
beat
I
Derrick
no
Rose?
no. Like let me explain. I just feel like the way that like Jason Kidd's IQ, he would have figured out like okay, this is how we
You guys
have
are
to
you guys
play
are
it.
looking at Aaron like Jason Kidd's not one of the
No, but
best
yeah,
but I know-
defensive point
I
guards
know,
to
I know, but
ever
he's not gonna
be on
stay
the
in
court.
front
no,
of
no,
him.
no,
You don't need to stop D Rose. You need to hold
Here's
him
the thing.
down.
In his
He's
prime,
your primary form of attack.
in his prime,
That's
yes.
the- that's the
But
whole J.K.
on Dallas in
That's a role
2011,
player there.
No,
I
but
don't know,
I'm not
man.
saying
Still the
that.
same thing.
I don't know. He was moving kind of different, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a system.
I
There's
guess.
okay, whatever. We're acting like Derrick Rose was there before.
Yeah, that's right.
Was it?
That's right. But I don't know. Even on the matchups, thinking about it too.
I don't think they win.
Who's stopping Dirk?
Nobody. Not a single player.
Carlos Boozer's like
Not a
6'8",
single player.
6'7".
Alright,
The problem
That's
with
fair,
that
that's fair.
matchup for them is they ran into a Dallas Mavericks team that together as a whole wasn't stopping for anybody.
Yes.
They were too well put together as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
As a unit, there was nothing you could do. That was a team that had their star and their role players, and everybody knew what to do.
Yeah.
This is our role. I'm gonna play my role to the best of my ability. I'm not gonna try to take a step out of there and take a step any other way. It's just we know what we have to do to win, and what we have to do to win is play through Dirk and have our role players play excruciatingly painful defense, annoying defense, and to run. And that's what they did. But they slowed it down a little bit sometimes. But Jason Terry on the fast break, whole series,
Jet.
whole series.
I don't know if you're being serious.
He was on the fast break the whole
Alright.
series.
That guy was hitting,
That
bro.
was that
Fast
was
break
still good,
3-pointers.
That was still good, Jason Terry, before
Fast
he got
break
dunked on.
3-pointers.
Before before Milwaukee, Jason
Oof.
Terry. But it's funny though, because looking back at the Scottie Pippen prediction, he had Dallas getting kicked out in the first round by Portland.
Really?
Yeah, he had an upset, so
Yeah.
he was wrong.
I guess if you
right?
want to go for an upset, if you
Right
can look
away.
at that Portland team and think that maybe.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
get it. That's probably the Portland that still has LA, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the Portland that has Nick Batum. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, was it Wesley Matthews?
It's still a young Portland.
It's a young-
squad.
It was definitely a
Yeah.
good
It's a
series. It
young
was
Portland
great
team
series.
that we thought was going to be able to do something, and they never did.
Yeah. Well, moving on. Well, kind of sticking around with the Chicago theme. We'll move on to our next topic. Shane, what is it?
So, branching off the Chicago Bulls, our next topic is what if Carmelo actually signed with the Chicago Bulls back in 2014?
Yeah.
Now, if we're going to talk about rings, I think this move would have gave Chicago at least two, like for real, like at least two. So now, for anyone who doesn't remember, back in 2014, Melo actually signed to New York for $124 million for 5 years. But he actually agreed verbally to sign to Chicago, but everyone was like, nah, we don't like it. His fans were hating on him, so he switched his mind at the last second, went back to New York. Now, if you look at that roster at the time, back in 2014, they would have had Derrick Rose, up-and-coming Jimmy Butler, Carlos Boozer, Paul Gasol, and Joakim Noah. Now, that group by themselves is a solid group.
Yeah.
And now you add Carmelo Anthony, who still has maybe like what 3 more All-Star seasons in him. Add him to
25
that
points
team.
a game.
25 points a game. Like you give them another option that they never had before,
Definitely.
right? So here's my thing, right? Who is stopping that Chicago Bulls team?
It's gonna be a difficult series. It's gonna be hard. This was 2014, right?
Mhm.
This was Big Three still,
This was like the
This
tail. I think this was LeBron's first year in
LeBron,
Cleveland,
yeah, went to the Cavs.
right? So, that's gonna be a dogfight.
right?
That's gonna be a dogfight, and that's a series where, let's say the Cleveland Cavaliers sees them in the Eastern Conference Finals, man.
Yeah.
That's literally gonna show like LeBron's greatness. I don't know how you're gonna pick apart that defense, Jake. What do you think?
I don't know.
Right? That's just so much that's an overwhelming squad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
Lou Wall's on that team.
And the
Yeah,
Walls
on that
too.
team. They
So
actually
he's
still
gonna
have
come
Nate.
Nate
They
off the
still have
bench.
Nate off the bench.
Yeah,
Spark plug.
What do you think, Jake?
I don't know what to think. I'm really trying to piece it all together in my head and go, all right, who are they running into? What are the problems they face? What's the starting lineup looking like?
They also still have Rip. but, like,
Because
Yeah.
then Luol has to come off the bench,
Mm.
which is a career saver because that's the reason his career ended. Because for some reason Tom Thibodeau decided he needs to play every second of every game he's ever stepped in.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But he gets much needed break and can lead the bench squad, and that's somebody who could tear apart anybody's second unit. Luol Deng, he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
100%.
He'll tear apart your offense, but your defense, sorry. So I'm thinking that's a strong move, putting him off the bench. You got Nate coming off the bench. Do they still have Heinrich?
Yep.
Yes.
They got
Is this-
Heinrich.
Yeah,
they still have
is this
Heinrich.
still a
Back
squad?
guy.
Rip
Right?
Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Older Rip
So
Hamilton,
who are
but
we
still.
looking at for bigs? We have Gibson, Boozer, and Noah, right?
Yeah.
And Paul.
And Paul Gasol.
I never liked Powell on Chicago Bulls.
You know what? He made an
He did,
All-Star
he
team.
did, he
And
did.
a third team.
It just
Was
seems,
Rondo
it just
not on
seems
the
like
team?
he didn't fit always.
No,
Oh,
Rondo was
yeah.
with the
Oh,
Windward.
he was on. No, it wasn't. Okay.
It was a
Yeah.
little bit after.
I think it was.
So we're saying it's gonna be it's whoever's seeing them in the Eastern Finals or even the finals in general. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
Oh, but we're also
100%.
This is also injured Derrick Rose too, though. Right?
Well, let's say we're I think I'm assuming like
We're at
this is
now.
the best Bulls team. Like Derrick Rose, maybe he's coming off injury.
He
but,
is
like,
coming
he's,
off injury.
he's healthy.
Because it's
Like,
2014.
yeah, but let's assume he's healthy. He's good.
Because
He's
here's the
good the
thing,
whole
in,
season.
in 2014, he still gave you 17, 3, and 4.
Right.
It's true.
Like he wasn't at MVP
As the
level,
guy,
but as like
though.
a second level player.
Who was the guy back in 2014 on their team then? Was it Butler?
It was like Butler was just beginning his breakthrough, so it was like a Rose, and then Butler was like his 1B. You know what I mean? Like he didn't overtaking this yet, but you could see it. Like he would have his games. Like,
Well, that was also the issue with Chicago, right? Because like Jimmy Butler's your 2,
yeah.
and you're like, at the time, who the fuck is Jimmy Butler?
Exactly.
right?
Exactly,
It was
yeah.
just like, it's gonna be Jimmy. No, we know the ball's going to Derrick Rose regardless at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who's stopping that. I don't know.
All I'm gonna say, man, back in 2014, you put Carmelo in the like mid post. That's a bucket like 85% of the time.
Yeah,
85%.
Yeah,
of
but
the
you
time.
also have to put the ball in his hands a lot, so that changes a lot.
that's the
of
thing
things.
too. Are we assuming that?
Because you do have to put the ball in Melo's hands a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So that really does. So everybody's touches go down,
Mm.
and then
Like you could argue that Jimmy doesn't become the player he does.
Yeah.
Jimmy becomes
That's
probably
right.
the best 6 man or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could also argue that Derrick Rose's career gets extended just a little bit more because
and this
some
is
pressure taken off him.
this is 2014 where they're gonna end up running into San Antonio,
Yes.
and I don't like that matchup.
Or was
I
it
think it was the
Oh,
Warriors.
It was the Warriors. It was
Oh,
the
was it?
I
first
think it was
year
the
Warriors.
Warriors.
First year Warriors made it. Okay,
Yeah.
And
so
I like
they-
how.
I don't. Yeah,
Rose
because I don't like
matches
them
up
running into
against-
San Antonio.
Yeah.
Because I think San Antonio beats them.
Yeah.
But if it's the Warriors, I think they could have taken a early Warriors team.
It would have been it's still a great matchup regardless.
Yeah,
Right?
a young Curry. They could have
Yeah.
done it.
Curry, Clay, Iggy match up perfectly with D Rose.
Oh, wait.
Butler.
Oh, what was
No,
the Spurs?
It was the Spurs.
It
Was the
in
Spurs?
14?
Yeah,
And I agree with you.
I don't think they beat the Spurs. That's Timmy,
Yeesh.
Manu, and Parker
Kawhi.
firing
You got
on, and
Kawhi.
Kawhi, but just those three, those
Yeah.
legendary trio, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Back in 2014,
Yeah,
That's
And that's
a
what
tough
led to
They
LeBron
had it.
leaving.
they had it. Yeah, they had
Yeah.
LeBron's number on
Yeah.
Miami.
So-
there was nothing they could do.
So, sorry. So this is the 2014 off season, or is this the 2013 season going to the 14
This
season?
was the 2014
Off-season. In the
off-season.
summer of 2014.
Yeah, in the summer of 2014.
So summer of 24. So this is going into the 2015 season.
14, 15. Yeah.
So it would
So-
be the next year after.
So we're
this,
looking at the 2015.
which is again,
Which
again,
I think is
the
Yes.
Spurs. Spurs
No.
made it back.
No, this one is.
This
the,
one
this
is-
is
yeah, okay,
This,
so I
this
was-
is the.
yeah,
This
this
is
is-
This is the one I meant, yeah, my
okay,
bad.
and then
My
it went
fault,
the
that's
Warriors.
No,
three
it's all
after
good. It's all
that.
good.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
confusing.
So they went 13-14 then.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was 14-15.
Oh, but you think you're gonna face? They could beat the Warriors. Yeah, they'll beat. The
I think
Warriors.
they
think
beat
they
the
definitely
But
Warriors.
now,
It would have been two different play styles because
You think
Chicago
what-
back then was
but
very
two
post.
different
Oh, and
play
half
styles.
court. They were half court. Half court.
Two different play styles for sure. But you're also going up against which Warriors team was this?
This
one?
is baby
Bogut.
Warriors. Yeah, this is Bogut,
Bogut,
Barnes,
Dre.
Draymond.
Yeah.
This is baby.
The Hampton.
I got
They
chills.
Clay's
They
gonna be
should have
playing.
won a ring with that lineup the first year.
Right. So.
No, they
did.
did.
They
They
did.
did.
No,
They
they
did.
did.
It's just they
Yeah.
lost it next year.
Yeah. Oh, this is
Yeah,
baby
they shouldn't.
Warriors.
This is when they won 67.
Yeah,
and
this was
15.
this is the year that Cleveland actually should have won. They should have
Yeah.
beat them and they didn't.
This was yeah.
But
This was
Kyrie got hurt.
the
So.
dead Kevin Love.
Yeah, Kevin Love injury.
Yeah, but even if Kevin Love was hurt,
You think
Kyrie,
just Kyrie was-
I think Kyrie. Would
Actually, yeah,
changed it.
Kyrie.
Kyrie would have changed that series.
100%.
No offense to the Warriors. I love the Warriors, and
Just too much firepower.
just too much firepower.
That's a lot of the player.
So what happened though?
Kyrie's a
He
killer.
ended up getting an extension with the Knicks, right?
Yeah, so he actually went to the Knicks, got 50 million more. He ended up having 3 more All-Star seasons, but obviously, as we all saw, his career just went
Yeah.
downhill.
I remember a PlayStation conversation that we were having about these were the Knicks with the older heads, right? This was the Amari, the Tyson Chandler, older
Kenyon
Jason
Martin.
Kidd,
But this was like
Kenyon Martin.
this was like a couple years after that, though.
Pablo.
Wait, this was a couple years after
Because
that.
that was like the 2012. That was like the
That was
Knicks tape.
2014.
That was the Knicks tape team.
Right?
Oh.
But 2014, they still had a Stoudemire and
Mhm.
Yeah, they still and then they
And they
had
got Shumpert, too.
Yeah, the Shumpert.
Shumpert,
and
yeah.
stuff.
JR.
Landry Fields was.
That's what I'm like. I'm not.
Fields was
I don't
on
think
that
I'm
team.
tripping.
Fields is actually not bad.
Was
Was
Yeah.
Thornton still on that team?
Ooh, I'm not too
Jordan.
sure.
I think they also had Steve Novak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Novak,
Novak.
They had
Novak.
Steve Novak.
Oh,
And their
yeah.
offense is
Whatever
actually
happened to
extremely fluid.
You're talking about Marcus? Oh yeah.
He went to
He was
Sacramento,
on
and then he
Houston
just
for a bit too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just bounced a lot.
Don't you just hate when role players
I think he was also
Just
on the
their
Kings.
career
Well,
quietly
I
ends?
think Stock's on the
Whatever
Kings.
happened to that guy?
Yep.
That guy could play.
You know,
Corey
I'm putting him
Brewer,
on that list
the
of
greatest travel of all time.
Well, speaking of the Knicks, our third topic, Shane, you want to get started with that
Yeah,
one?
so our third topic is what if Linsanity never ended? So this is back in 2011, in case anyone doesn't know who Jeremy Lin is, but he had a 20-game stretch where he looked like the best point guard in the league. Debatably, obviously, depends who you ask.
Played like it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely played like he played like an alpha
Like the
dog. You know, he
Hornets.
was going up against Darren Williams, going up against Kobe, giving anybody the numbers, right? And then unfortunately he ended up injuring his knee for a little bit, missed the playoffs, and then never really came back the same, right?
Yeah.
So Edwin, what do you think if, and not necessarily staying in New York, but what if he stayed at that level?
If you stayed at that level,
Yeah,
You know how we had the conversation of floors and ceilings? So he played during that 20-game span, he played at his ceiling. What if he took that play
and that's his
and made that his floor?
that's whatever team he goes on. That team is just
So
basically a contender.
honestly,
He was playing out of his mind, pick and roll. He hit the shot. It was just ridiculous. Finishing at the rim,
against anyone.
He played with so
high
much
IQ. He
confidence.
played
Honestly.
so with the
Honestly.
confidence as a team.
and he inspired so many like younger kids. Like I know like a lot of like the Asian community, they didn't have like someone to really look up to. But for those 20 games, man, I know he gave a lot of kids some hoop dreams.
Yeah, no, it was
man.
definitely tough.
whole
You know,
bunch of
like
kids.
if being an Asian, who we had to look at Yao Ming.
Yeah.
He wasn't
We got,
like,
like,
and he was what? He was like, you have to be 7'6" to get to the NBA.
You
And I
hear
was
that?
like,
You got a
Roy
chance.
Hachimura.
Rui's half.
He's
A
out.
lie.
It's hard, man. Like right now, like
Yeah,
even
Yillian.
as a Filipino, like
We
even
got half Jordan Clarkson.
yeah, but like wow.
Jillian.
We got Jordan Clarkson.
Right,
What's the guy's name?
oh, Yijian Leon. I got you with the with the
I
names.
got
Son,
I know.
That's just a sad
He's just so pale.
We got Simbular.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. How many Brown players have there?
There's been
I think there's a lot.
there's like solid players. There's been 2.
Who?
Who?
Sim.
Abdul?
Ooh.
Abdul.
Abdul?
No.
But he's Middle Eastern.
He's Middle Eastern.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
There's been Sim, and then there's been I'm forgetting the man's name, but
Which one?
he played on Dallas.
Yeah, Mejri.
Mejri.
No, it's not
Oh.
Mejri. It's there's another dude who's bigger than Mejri.
Oh, Alexi Agency, something like that.
Bro, hold on.
It's probably a
That's
Gensa.
better than him.
It's probably a Gensa. It was probably no, but like I mean,
The
there-
Jensen?
but
The Vinky?
No, it was
Yeah.
Satnam Singh. This guy right here.
Sat.
I'll put his picture like right.
You know what?
Sat-
You don't even have to.
Bro,
You said sing, I got it.
Yeah.
Please don't. Don't do
I mean, it's not like they didn't do anything in the NBA anyway.
No, but I think like the brown community is like decently represented though.
yeah.
No, I think the brown community is decently represented though, because I mean like you did have like what was it, Sharif Abdul Rahim, who's an all-star here and there.
Yeah.
There was here and there.
Yeah.
Y'all got people. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
Y'all
But-
got people.
Um,
You gotta-
but going back to Jeremy Lin though, no, it was definitely inspirational, man. And he was hitting clutch shots, buzzer beaters, bro, and he was just no one could stop him.
Mhm.
And Linsanity like went live, and it was nuts. And he ended up where after.
He ended up
Rockets.
in Houston.
Yeah,
And then
Rockets.
you know what? I remember I was watching during the quarantine when they had the NBA replays,
Yeah.
and they had that full one with Houston. I think it was Houston and Portland
Yeah.
where Dame hit the shot,
Mm-hmm.
and that team was good.
That was a great team.
Jeremy Lin, James Harden, Chandler Parsons, Dwight Howard, and then whatever bench they had at the
Yeah.
time. But still, like that was
Was that
solid.
the year Chandler Parsons broke the 3-point record in
Yeah.
Houston?
Yeah, that was his
10
breakout
threes.
year that year.
Then he
And
got
then
the
he
bag and never played again.
Got the bag, got injured, and
He
said,
got 16
"Deuces."
million a year.
Yeah, and then he's got out.
16 million a
Yeah.
year.
Out.
The crazy thing is he got another max after that first.
Because he's
Yeah.
good.
I can't believe
Because
it.
he's good.
I can't. He's
And
good
they're
at
like, you know,
finessing.
we're
That's what
like,
he's good
we're
at.
willing to see if he comes back.
Yeah, that was.
And then he didn't.
I don't know why Memphis.
He was getting paid 888K.
Like, before he got
What
that
did
contract.
you see from him?
It's crazy.
Well, he didn't play, but
Exactly.
it's like, if you saw anything, you're like, oh, he can come back and at least he can stand there and hit threes for us. That's what you're thinking, and then he just couldn't.
Before a max.
Alive.
Max, just for a guy.
Yeah.
Alive.
So what they saw was
What,
like,
they paid Harrison Barnes. Just in
That
general.
was also
He
a
got
mistake.
money.
yeah, but that was also inflated with
Mistakes happen.
that. I think that one was probably worse than Parsons because Parsons is like, oh, I see something, he got hurt. Right?
Yeah.
Barnes is like,
Barnes is like, oh, we could take this guy who's, you know, doing all right as
On the
the
Warriors.
as the fourth option.
yeah.
And maybe make him our number
No,
one.
it's just so funny. It's just like we could take this slasher and make him really good. It's like, hey, why are you posting up? What are you? What
Stop.
do you? What do you stop it right now? And then he's like, oh, play the 4. No, stop posting up.
Play the 3 again. Shoot the ball.
Please, just something.
Honestly, just give me a bucket.
just give me a bucket.
Just give me a
God
bucket.
damn it.
That's not good.
Going to the 4th.
Yeah, so our fourth one, we're actually going to go ahead and jump into what if Kevin Durant actually got drafted by the Blazers in 2008. Now, back in 2008, the Blazers had the first overall pick, and they ended up picking Greg Oden, number 1. Now, at the time, you know, no one really questioned it because he had a great college season. I think he went to Ohio.
Ohio
He
State.
played really well with Mike Conley, I think it was at the time.
Yep.
You know, no one really questioned it, but his whole thing was he can never stay healthy enough. Right? So, Aaron, what do you think would happen, man?
Yo, I think that this is actually extremely beneficial to Brandon Roy's career.
Yeah.
If KD actually got onto the Blazers, the amount of offensive load that was on Brandon Roy would immediately be taken off. You get another immediate second option or first option that just can make shots, create for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is on that Portland team?
They had LaMarcus.
Oh yeah, okay.
I want to say they might have had Gerald Wallace at some, or was this
No,
was,
no,
was
no.
too early
It
for
was
that?
like the Rudy Fernandez.
Oh, yes,
squad,
yes,
I think
yes,
that's
yes.
who. But going off of that, I don't know if it would save Brandon Roy's like longevity,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it might not make Brandon Roy. I don't think he might get the least touches. Let's say what if Brandon Roy still gets injured? Then it becomes Kevin Durant's team.
Yeah.
He becomes the best number 2.
You mean I got a teammate and I still got hurt?
Right? Because like I'm just saying you never know. Right now it's Kevin Durant's
He
team,
goes
and then
into a parallel universe where this actually happens. He
Oh,
blew
jeez.
up both knees. He's like, no!
It's like, it's the other one too. It's the other
Jeez,
one too.
right?
It's like
so that's the thing. I don't know. Sure, he'll get less touches. Maybe he might not have those showdowns with the other great scorers, right? You never really know. And I mean, maybe even Kevin Durant. What if Kevin Durant gets touches and Kevin Durant's not Kevin Durant?
What if Kevin Durant blows out his knee?
Right, what if-
And Brandon's like, I was you. It was you.
You had KD got his numbers with Russ.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's
KD, I feel
getting
like
his
KD's the
numbers.
player that will always
KD's
project those numbers.
Let's be
I
real.
think Brandon Roy
Generational.
still.
Generational.
Oh, hands down.
If
Hands down.
Braun wasn't here,
He's
we'd
best
be
player.
talking about how KD's the guy.
And honestly, in my opinion, when KD comes back, I think he is the guy. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, and we'll save this for another pod. But that's just my opinion.
He's just gonna be the best number 2 to ever play the game. Sometimes, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just like,
scoring champ, MVP,
I don't
whatever.
know about that.
whatnot.
What?
Just like
Yeah.
Clyde to MJ.
Just like
Yeah.
Clyde to
Stop.
MJ.
Stop. Stop.
How is he
I love KD
How
too.
is he surpassing LeBron?
This is like hot
Okay,
takes.
okay, we're getting into the conversation without
Anyways.
getting into the conversation.
Stop. Yeah. But
Let's get that nonsense.
so let's say they get together.
Mhm.
Let's say they build and everything. Ed, do you think they're winning a ring?
That Portland team?
That Portland team.
Healthy?
Let's say in like 5 years, 6 years after that pick. Right.
5
I could
years.
see them. I could see them
Going
winning one.
far.
If anything, it would just be one. But like it would be tough, and that Western Conference was tough.
It's so tough. Okay,
But, like,
we gotta
they-
watch who they're playing.
Because that would have been around
Well,
13, 14,
Were they
14,
14?
15.
Well,
It's just-
08,
that-
08,
that-
you got Lakers for 2 years. Sorry.
Well, think about it. At the end of the day, though, Durant wasn't able to get one with his
Russ.
squad at OKC.
Mhm.
And that was
Is this squad better
That
than
much.
the one in OKC?
Is it that
Yeah,
much better?
right?
Yeah.
I think
Right.
it's just more experience because his OKC squad was a great squad, but they were very young.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So, but like this squad is still very young, right? This is still like kind of like this is LaMarcus, this is Nicholas Batum, this is like I said, Rudy Fernandez. These are people that they haven't proved themselves yet.
Mhm.
And same thing with OKC.
Efficiently. That's 3. That trio is. You're telling me KD dropping? He'll give you. We'll just say 25 minimum.
Okay.
Efficient.
Mhm.
He can shoot. He'll create. Brandon Roy is your number 2 option.
Yeah.
He can give you 25 efficiently.
Yeah.
He can shoot the ball, spread the floor. He can create for other people. Your number 3 option is LaMarcus Aldridge.
Aldridge.
He can give you a solid
Yeah.
20 efficiently.
Yeah.
Offensively, this team has no problem. It's just gonna be all on the defensive side.
Exactly. So my point is when we're talking about which team is better, right? Offensively, it's that Portland team with KD, right? Defensively, it's that OKC team
Because of it was like Serge,
boss.
Perk.
because of Serge, Perk,
Even James Harden at the time was
Collison,
decent.
James Harden, but Russell Westbrook's still a defender. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it comes at the end of the day, and so it's
I don't know. It's
It's close.
close, right? But
It's,
like
a tough
also-
one. It's a tough
yeah.
one.
Like, you see them making the same kind of length Western Conference Finals. Maybe they meet LeBron again in the finals, and then they lose, right?
right.
I don't know. You can't really.
They
say
run into the
anything.
Spurs. I don't think they win.
Right, and it's hard. It's hard,
It's
right?
just the Spurs were so good.
It's hard. I don't know.
Why didn't they make the playoffs this year?
Who?
They still almost made the playoffs.
Who?
This
It was
year.
close.
The Spurs, yeah.
Really
It's
close.
just tough.
That's like the first time in like what 20 years?
22 years, I
Dude.
think. Yeah.
You think 22 years?
22
You're
years.
saying the last time they didn't make the playoffs,
Before we were born.
we were embryo. We were just a thought.
We were a thought. It's crazy.
It was an idea. Yo,
We were just an idea.
yeah, I think we could have Shane right now. Yeah, let's.
That's like into that, bro. Hold on.
Probably this year. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's plan it. Let's start planning. Figure out the genes and everything like that.
Literally,
just
let's buy him some jeans.
Oh,
Is it a boy or a
Jesus.
girl?
Is it a boy or a girl?
Oh,
Let's
my
like, what
God.
archetype do we want it to be?
Stop this.
Pie charts.
God.
Pie charts.
And they chose this.
They chose a
Damn.
stretch 4 that only posts
a
up.
6'1" stretch 4 who can't shoot.
Nice.
Damn, man.
Point guard.
You hate to see
It's
it.
like, why'd
If you
you
were
max
9 inches
intangibles?
taller, you could have been fucking Patrick Patterson.
No cap.
You just gotta get the
Oh.
shoulders. Just gonna get the shoulders.
No, well, honestly,
What
what one day?
Is Patrick Patterson?
I can't believe this. I can't
Oh,
believe
God. I think one day we gotta play like basketball Pictionary.
Oh
And
yeah.
like put in
I
our
would love
drawing
that.
Patrick Patterson.
I would love
Oh
that.
my
You
god.
do like a silhouette of who is it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna see the shoulders. But is it Dwight or is it Patrick Patterson? You don't know.
They
we
both
should-
got the buzz
yeah.
cut too.
No, we should take screenshots of like their shoulders and just say Patrick Patterson or Dwight Howard.
They also wore the sleeves.
yeah.
They also
Yeah.
wore the sleeves.
Yeah. All right. What's our next topic? Shane?
All right, so our last topic is gonna be a juicy one. This is very controversial at the time.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people look back at this and really regret it. This is back in 2011. The Lakers actually had a trade in place to get the point guard Chris Paul to get on their team.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the trade package was a 3-team trade, right?
It was So it was Lakers, Rockets, and the Hornets.
Mhm.
At the end of the deal, Chris Paul to the Lakers, Paul Gasol to the Rockets, and New Orleans would end up getting Kevin Martin, Luis Scola, Lamar Odom, Goran Dragic, a 2012 first-round pick that Houston had, which I believe ended up being either Thomas Robinson or Jeremy Lamb.
Yeah,
And yeah, which is a pretty
that's a mega
hefty
trade.
deal. Yeah. You know what? Like looking at it now and just realizing, I'm like, I don't know who says no, right? And that's the reason why it went through 90% until Stern vetoed it.
Yeah.
And as a Lakers fan, looking at it, I mean, you do lose Paul Gasol and Lamar Odom, who were very, very important in their runs.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, man, like, I don't know who says no. I don't know why. I hate that it was vetoed. And the reason why it was vetoed, because this was a year, we know Paul is leaving. Chris Paul's leaving. David Stern buys New Orleans, like the New Orleans Hornets.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we're losing Chris Paul this season. I'm rebranding the team next season. We need someone to be the face of the new franchise.
Yeah.
So I can't give the keys to Kevin Martin.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to go to my arena, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to veto this, let Chris Paul go to the Clippers, so he's still in LA,
Yeah.
and then we're going to somehow rig the draft
Yeah.
and somehow get the first round pick, so we have the number 1 pick, generational talent,
Yep.
Anthony Davis, to be our face of our franchise.
Yeah.
And that's what he
That's
did.
ironic.
And that's what he
That's
did.
so ironic.
Right?
How he's on Lakers.
And now he's on
Yeah.
the Lakers. I mean, it goes full circle.
It goes full
Right?
circle.
And you know who they made a trade with? The New Orleans Pelicans,
can't
right?
believe it.
Like it goes full
just
circle. But the
ridiculous.
thing is, it's just like he rigged it because he wants to save his business.
Yeah.
Because he bought the Pelicans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which Chris Paul's reaction on Twitter at the time was wow. And then Odom said on his Twitter, when a team trades you and it doesn't go down, now what?
Damn.
Yeah,
a good thing goes
really-
bad.
It
crazy.
really screwed it up, man. And,
Y'all tried to trade me?
right? It was kind of like 2 seasons.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, it was 2 seasons ago where LeBron was going to trade one of the Lakers, like the youngins, and everyone knew it.
Imagine saying just kidding.
yeah.
I'm gonna trade them.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
just like
No, they walked back into the training facility and LeBron looked at them and said, "Next year."
I was like, we'll try again. Don't worry.
Yeah,
It'll happen.
and you know, I felt bad
Don't
for
get too
Lamar.
comfortable.
Yeah, I felt bad for Lamar, man, because he said, "I don't know what to do for the Lakers. I'm even weirded out by the league doing what they did. I don't know what to do." And then it doesn't go through. Oh Lord, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll pray about it, man. And I feel bad. Lamar was always a decent person, man.
Yeah.
It's just he ended up getting on the drugs, bro.
on something.
What was it on the crack?
On the crack.
And I felt bad for this. And this was the lockout year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The Lakers lose because we get. Do you guys remember?
Ramon Sessions.
I would
Insert the clip right here.
Oh goodness.
I think it was Ramon Sessions that was the point guard.
I don't know, but Edvin, you remember the really bad Lakers teams, right? Like
Wasn't Kendall Marshall on one of those teams?
He was a 4th pick.
He was amazing.
God damn.
He played?
Kendall Marshall,
I had no clue.
They played him?
Yeah.
Oh my
What
goodness.
else they got?
Jordan Hill.
I only ever seen him play on my team.
Jordan
Yeah.
Hill.
They had Austin Brown, yeah.
It sounds like you're naming
That this
pop
it's,
singers.
it was like our like
Yeah,
our-
wait, I was just gonna say
yeah,
Austin
no, his
Brown.
name was,
Austin
yeah,
Brown?
that's
that
what
guy's
it
not a
was.
singer.
Yeah, it was really bad, man. Robert Sacre.
Oh man, shout out to the Canadian legend.
Sacre. Oh
Yo,
my
best
the
windmill
the
ever.
names don't even like Ryan Kelly.
I remember
Oh,
Ryan
I remember
Kelly.
Ryan
Kelly.
Number 4.
Brian Kelly
Ryan
didn't look like he
Kelly.
belonged in the NBA.
Honestly.
Oh,
I bet he's better than I will ever be for sure. But he didn't look like.
Huertas.
Oh,
Huertas.
Oh, the Spanish guy.
Yeah, the guy who
Yeah.
hid behind the referee to get
Yeah,
the
yeah, I remember
Insert
that.
that clip right
That
here.
was so funny.
Oh my
That was actually such a
God,
funny
like
clip.
what the
Goodness.
hell was that team, right? But you know, down the road though, they ended up pulling off the Dwight Howard trade,
Yeah.
Which is a mistake.
which was a mistake. I don't talk.
I mean,
about it.
even if it worked out, it wouldn't have worked out.
I mean, if you look at it this way though, right? Bynum was never gonna play again after that. So you got Dwight Howard
get it.
for nothing.
I get it.
You know what I mean? So you got one season.
But here's the thing. You should have seen that last time we did what we're trying to do now, which is I'm speaking as the Lakers, and
Yeah.
when they went and got Gary Payton and Malone.
Yeah.
It's like, we got aging past superstars. We're gonna bring them together here. We're
Yeah.
gonna win a championship. So they bring Steve Nash and they bring Dwight Howard and say, maybe this time it'll work with slightly worse players.
Yeah.
But I mean, not slightly worse players, but I mean, Dwight's a lot worse than
Yeah,
Malone.
yeah.
And Nash and Peyton, we could have that debate, but you know.
But what was it? What NBA 2K13, bro? That team was amazing.
Honestly.
Oh, for
That
sure.
team was beautiful.
Yo, Steve Nash.
If you think about it in a
good.
game
Cash
sense,
Yeah.
this should work perfectly.
Basically,
Oh my
on
But
top paper.
Steve Nash was at the end of his career, although we didn't know it. We didn't think he was going to be
Yeah.
done, but
Yeah.
that back. And once, for anybody who's ever had a back problem, it's the worst thing ever.
Especially
You
when
can't
you're
move.
22.
It's so, think of how much space your back takes up on your body. And when that hurt, you can't do anything.
You're just
It's
immobilized.
so
man.
it's so immobilizing. So people go, "Oh, suck it up, your back hurt." No. I can't move, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Even with Dwight.
Like,
yeah,
Lucy is to get
my
my
back
back
hurts.
Yeah.
Like,
My
top
neck
back.
and
My,
my
neck,
back.
my neck and my back. But even I remember Dwight that year too, because he was wearing the Under Armour shirt type of thing.
Yeah,
underneath,
yeah.
right? And he had the plate.
yeah.
And that shit did not look comfy. at all.
No.
He was like kind of like.
Shout out to Dwight because it looks like his movement has been a lot
Oh,
improved.
and because he cut the weight too.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
way
yeah.
skinnier, but he still has that
Mhm.
strength.
A lot of bigs are starting to do that and cut weight because they realize that if I want to play an extended career, I can't have all that weight on not just my body, my joints specifically.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's not a recipe for success.
definitely.
Being that tall and being that heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't.
Unfortunately, like it happened, as soon. Because I feel like if he did that like in Houston, could you imagine?
Oh,
if he
for
cut
sure.
down the weight, bro?
Imagine if
Oh
they
my
taught
goodness.
this to Greg Oden. We probably wouldn't be talking about this right now. We'd
Honestly.
be talking about how Greg Oden
His legs
were uneven. That's another
Yeah.
thing. One was shorter than the other.
Yeah, one was shorter than
Yeah.
the other.
That shit's
That's
funny.
such a weird fact.
That's
Wow.
weird.
That's
That's
actually. Doesn't that happen to people with polio?
Oh, I'm not too sure.
I don't know about that one.
I
I
haven't
don't know about that one.
studied polio just yet.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Doctor.
Doctor.
But yeah, that's weird trivia. That's like knowing Blake Griffin, like his wingspan is shorter than his height, right?
So is Tyler Hero.
Yeah,
You got that T-Rex arms.
Yeah, he's got the T-Rex arms. Yeah, no. Well, that cuts it for this third episode. We're out.